Welcome back, Rams, to another edition of CTV Sports. I'm Mike Walsh.
I'm so excited to be joining Mike on desk tonight. I'm AJ Fredrikson, and here's what we've got on tap for you tonight.
Colorado State men's basketball surprised us all against Boise State, securing a win right before they head to the Mountain West Tournament, while the women's team falls short in round one of the Mountain West Tournament to the Fresno State Bulldogs by just 2 points.
Green and Gold softball played 2 doubleheaders this weekend as tennis fought hard-earned victory against UC Riverside.
And CSU track and field head to Virginia Beach to compete in the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship, and men's golf also heads to the Lambkin Invitational in San Diego, California.
All that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now.
Closing out the season on the highest note, the CSU men's basketball team stole a thriller of a matchup in Boise, positioning themselves ahead of the Broncos in the conference standings as the number 2 seed. And star guard Nique Clifford had a performance for the record books, putting up an insane career high of 36 points. And it is rare when you can tell a full game story through one player's highlights, but when you put up 36 points on a super efficient 13 of 18 shooting, it's pretty easy. Starting first with some of Nique's easier attempts in the first half that echoed the Rams' play style. Getting into it, it's just everything you saw in this game was Nique. He's hitting the fades, he's hitting the threes, he's going for the layups. He's really doing it all in this game. And as I said, in this first half, it was kind of lackluster from the Rams, keeping it even, Nique keeping the Rams afloat. But honestly, it was the second half where Nique Clifford and the Rams had the best comeback, I think, of this season at least. And they came back on the Broncos, hitting threes, hitting twos, pretty much hitting everything they shot. It was like watching the best basketball player you've ever seen make every shot he took, literally every shot he took. You watch this game, you could not see a miss from Nique Clifford. He only missed 5 shots in this game. It seemed like he couldn't miss any in the second half. The Rams players are feeling it. The Rams coaches are feeling it. And this was a really good night for the Rams. Biggest upset, I think, in a while for the Rams. But this is at home against Boise. These are the kind of games you need from a guy like Nique Clifford. So a memorable night for them. In the words of Coach Medved, Clifford's performance was legendary, and it came at the perfect time. As I said earlier, the Rams moved themselves up to the 2nd seed and have the 2nd best position in the conference tournament later this week. And we will get into all things Mountain West Tournament later in the show. But for now, let's take a look at the Green and Gold season and how it stands against other legendary years. And looking at these other years, it's Niko Medved again with that 2023-2024 year where they did go to the tournament. But it's Larry Ustachi who had those 2 years in 2012 and 2013 and 2014, 2015 when he took the Rams to 2 March Madness, with one of those being the Rams' last win ever in March Madness against Missouri. So some pretty good seasons to stand up against, but that is the best conference record ever for the Rams with 16 wins. So a memorable second half of the season saved the Rams and has put them on a hot streak with a ton of momentum. Later, we will break down the Rams' matchup possibilities and how me and AJ feel about their chances. For now, though, let's get a recap on that women's game.
Colorado State women's basketball took on Fresno State in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament last night and fell 54-52 in a thriller. A 3-pointer by senior guard Hannah Simontal brought the Rams to within 2 with 10 seconds left, but unfortunately Fresno State was able to hit their late game free throws and close it out to advance to the semifinals to take on Wyoming. The Rams got off to a slow start in this one, trailing 18-10 after the first quarter, and ultimately were never able to recover, shooting just 29% from the field and 21% from 3 as a team. Fresno State was also able to win the rebounding battles. They out-rebounded Colorado State 44-35, including 9 of those on the offensive glass. Mia Jacobs led the way for Fresno State with 20 points and 18 rebounds, while as usual, Emma Ronsick led the way for the Rams with 17 points. Here's what Emma had to say about the clock hitting 0 down 2.
It can be a little frustrating, but we just shot horrible. And I know some girls on our team are going to be kicking themselves for a little bit, especially me. That's just the way basketball goes.
Speaking of the Ronsick sisters, before their road trip to Vegas, our very own Leah Kakowski had the opportunity to redeem herself on the court and catch with CAC. Check it out.
What do you think is the best attribute of each other on the court, and how do you complement it the best?
I think Hannah spaces the floor well off of, like, when I get it in the mid-post or if I'm trying to make a read, like, I feel like sometimes that's kind of a lost art in basketball, is being able to read what's going on with the other teammates and like what they can see or what they can't see. So she knows how to find those gaps where I can make a nice pass out to her, and then obviously being a good shooter and somebody who can pass it out, it's pretty reliable. So I really appreciate that out of her game.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
I would say for Emma, just like obviously the amount of attention that she draws, it's easier for me to like just space out and read the game a little bit more, just because so many people are dedicated to her. And yeah, you had a lot of time before this at Creighton. You had a great run, making history, Elite Eight, Sweet 16, and that sticks out to me a lot of who you beat for Sweet 16. You already know what I'm probably going to say. Do you think when playing Caitlin Clark and defeating her, did you think she would be the player that she is saying what she has done? Did you see that already a few years ago, or what did you see when you played her?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it doesn't really matter what age you played her. I think you could kind of just gauge of who she was going to become. It was super fun beating her that year. Some people they'll see me or recognize me in public, or I'm wearing a CSU women's basketball shirt, and they'll talk basketball, and then they'll always bring up Caitlin Clark, and I'm like, yeah, well, we beat her one year. I just have to like throw that in there a little bit, but yeah, she is super impressive and a great basketball player.
For sure. What is like, I mean, obviously she's brought so much attention, and players like Angel Reese, Juju, like they all, what does that mean to you guys with the attention that not just women's sports alone, but women's basketball has gotten over the last year or so?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just super cool that women's basketball has gotten a bigger platform and spotlight, especially credit to them. They've really put us on the map. So, yeah, I think it's super cool.
It's not to say that, like, in the past, people watching women's basketball were more critics towards the game, but now I feel like everybody's kind of bought into the experience that they can get on the women's side, but also the experience they can get on the men's side, because it's the same game, but it's different. So I think it's kind of a learned appreciation for the sport now.
So there's a twist with how we play this one. Okay. This is mid-range pig.
Oh.
Take your first mid-range shot, Hannah.
We'll just do a light little elbow shot.
Perfect.
Wait.
See? Okay, all right, Emma. All you?
This is where these get me.
Okay, and this is where it all crumbles. I'm like a little bit. Okay, that was close. Biggest pet peeve from each other. What is it?
Oh, you already got one. I know you already got one too. She's really good at making me feel stupid about scenario. Like, yes, you are. You know what I mean? Even McKay said that the other day. You're very
She thinks I'm condescending.
she's a little condescending sometimes, and it hurts my feelings.
She like breathes really loud. Like she breathes through her nose too.
I have
like
allergies.
She can't.
I can't.
I get that, but you can mouth breathe, so it's quieter. Like, you know, like you have to do it out of your nose, so it's like.
Out of the two of you, who do you think will be the better aunt someday? If you guys were to be an aunt for each other's kids, who's going to be a better aunt?
I feel like we both be good in different ways. Hannah actually yesterday said that I basically won't have a kid if she's around, because she'll just be like taking it.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hannah will be a very present aunt.
I'm gonna go with me.
When we come back, more Ram athletic news before further dissecting the Mountain West tournament. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Colorado State women's tennis team fought to secure a 4-2 victory over UC Riverside, snapping an 8-match dual losing streak on Saturday. With only 2 doubles teams, the Rams needed both to claim the first point of the match. Diana Lazarzo and Victoria Jajinskaya dominated at number 2 with a quick 6-0 win, while the top team of Victoria Rekhtchenko and Sarah Weekly battled to a 7-6 tiebreak victory. With all 5 singles matches going to a third set, Colorado State's final trio of Zajinskaya, Lizarazo, and Logan Vokes ensured the team would reverse its luck, each securing a hard-fought win. Of the 3, only Lizarazo won her first set, claiming a 6-4, 2-6, and 6-3 victory at the number 5 spot, while at the number 3, Zajinskaya rallied strong with a 3-6, 6-1, and 6-2 triumph, but it was Logan Vokes who clinched the Rams' season dual win of the spring, as Vokes, playing through an injury all season, overcame a slow start to deliver a 2-6, 7-5, 6-2 win at number 4, sealing the team's hard-earned victory. The Rams then took a swing at Cal State Fullerton the very next day, but it was less of the same, with the green and gold falling 4-0. So a win to be proud of and a loss to forget for tennis this past weekend.
Saturday's doubleheader for the Rams against Weber State ended in a standstill, with CSU taking Game 1 11-7 before falling in Game 2 9-7. Jaylee Wilson played a crucial role in the first game, driving in 4 RBIs to power the Rams' offense. True freshman Kira Smith made her presence felt in Game 2, delivering a home run and 4 RBIs. On the mound, junior pitcher Giselle Bentley set the tone in Game 1, shutting out Weber State through the first 4 innings. In Game 2, Reagan Wick provided her usual endurance, holding down the circle for the entire matchup. On Sunday, it was more of the same for the Rams, as they got the first win in the first game of the doubleheader, led by a grand slam from senior catcher Carolina Buffalo to lead the way to a 7-6 win. However, Game 2 did not bring the same fortune for the Rams, as the offense just couldn't put together a rally and fell 1-0. Pitcher Reagan Wick gave the Rams another great start despite not having her best stuff, keeping Colorado State afloat while the offense struggled to get going. Up next for Rams softball, conference play. Mike.
While it may not be the most popular sport on campus, CSU track and field is certainly one of the most successful. Proving it every season, the team just can't stop winning, and it stems from the awesome athletes that head coach Brian Bedard and staff bring in and recruit. And one athlete in particular had quite the journey to CSU.
Joanna Pinnock may now be a 2-time program record holder here in Fort Collins, but there was a time when she was the new kid.
How to do everything over. Like, I did not, it was like completely different. Warming up was different, the workouts were different, like technique was different, and it was really hard for me to breathe. Still is, because moving from like sea level to this altitude was crazy. Still is crazy on my body, but it was really rough. I was at the back every workout. Like, it was really hard for me to get through a workout.
And after getting adjusted, Pinnock started flying up the leaderboards, something that she said she already knew was going to happen.
Coming here initially, I knew that I did want to break both the records. Like, on my recruiting visit, I looked and I was like, yeah, those are going to go win like my first year and all of that.
And in her first year, it looked like both records were going to fall.
For the outdoor record that I broke in my freshman year, I was jumping against one of my, like, an opponent. Her name was Omni, and she went to Wyoming. It was just competition for me. She was going out there and jumping a big one, and I was like, oh, like, she's not going to beat me, so I'm going to go out there and jump another one. And then when I did that jump, I looked at my coach Creech, and I was like, oh, like, and she was like, oh, like, that looks good. I was like, okay, like, yeah, like, whatever. And then they read it, and I was, like, looking at her when they read it, and as soon as they, like, said, like, the 1295, my eyes literally just filled with water, like, immediately, and we hugged and we embraced, and it was just such, like, a really good moment.
And unfortunately for Pinnock, she had to wait until her next season to fulfill her goals.
For me, I wasn't having the ideal indoor season that I wanted at all. I started my season with, I think, 12.6, and I thought that I would be going up from there, but it was a really rough season for me, only jumping like 12.2s and all that. So for that last jump, when I did break the school record, it was just for my team and trying to like get up another place. Just like, hey, my team needs me to come forth. I'm going to have to come forth. So that was that. And the one that I like recently, that one was just pure will. I was like, I did not come to open my season anything less than what I think I can, and now that I know that I am at a different level, like these achievements do become higher, and I knew that I was going to leave with that and with a mark that I was satisfied with, and then that did end up happening.
So as a program record holder and a local star, there really are only a few more things on Pinnock's list of goals.
My personal goals for this season is definitely to become an All-American, both indoor and out. I do think that the coaching that I've been receiving here is more than capable of getting me there, so I just need to go out there and get it done. So I do want to do that, and by doing that, I would be breaking the school record again. So, really excited for those little steps, but definitely being All-American indoor and outdoor this season.
And while Pinnock may hold the records, there's always still the opportunity to re-break them. But in more track news, both Gabby Morris and Maya Lesnar are headed to the Indoor NCAA Championships this weekend, where both of them will be competing in the shot put event. So be sure to stay tuned in to CTV for the results.
Colorado State men's golf wrapped up the Lamkin Invitational in Chula Vista, California earlier today to conclude a very successful tournament. The Rams finished in 6th place as a team, ending 15 strokes under par, highlighted by a great round in round 1 performance, shooting 8 under par. Alessandro Trenta led the way, shooting 8 under par, with Matthew Wilkinson shooting 5 under par and Jake Rogers rounding out the top 3, shooting 3 under par. The story of the tournament for the Rams was their success in the short game, ranking 3rd overall in par 3s and only being 7 strokes above par throughout the tournament. Next up for men's golf is the Oregon Duck Invitational on March 24th and March 25th. Don't go anywhere yet, Rams. After the break, Mike and I will discuss a Mountain West tournament breakdown for college hoops this week.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, a fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. And a wild Mountain West men's basketball tournament seems likely as teams prepare to compete for the automatic tournament bid. While the top 5 teams in the conference mostly dominated the lower-ranked opponents, their matchups against each other were all highly competitive, setting the stage for a pretty unpredictable tournament.
New Mexico claimed the regular season title, but the bid to the tourney will be decided in Las Vegas from March 12th to 15th.
The action begins tomorrow with 3 games on the schedule. First is number 8 San Jose State facing number 9 Wyoming at 11 a.m., followed by number 7 Nevada taking on number 10 Fresno State at 1:30, and the final first-round matchup features number 6 UNLV against 11 seed Air Force.
The quarterfinals will be played on Thursday, with the conference champion Lobos awaiting the winner of San Jose State and Wyoming at noon. San Diego State will clash with number 5 Boise State at 2:30. Colorado State takes on the winner of Nevada and Fresno State at 6 p.m., while Utah State in the 3 spot faces the winner of UNLV and Air Force for the last game of the night.
The semifinals are set for Friday, with 2 games determining who will advance to the championship. The first semifinal matchup tips off at 6:30, followed by the second one at 9 to end the night. I don't know, AJ. I'm feeling pretty good about the Rams' chances here. I mean, those first 2 teams that they're likely to play are pretty bad teams.
I think they got put in a great position.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have asked for anything better. I mean,
they'll at least win in 1 game is what I'd be confident in, but I think that second game is where the Rams might face a little bit of trouble, but I think that first
they get to play Utah State most likely, which they had success against them just a week ago.
I think there's decent matchups, though. Boise State, San Diego State to start out the tournament, that's huge.
That's great.
That's a huge matchup. But don't go anywhere just yet, because when we come back, Hunter joins us for a huge championship tournament pick'em slate. We'll be right back.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
We're in a 4-foot group!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
Okay. Hold on. All right. Wizard. You gonna roll?
Welcome back from the break, Rams. And before we take the week off for spring break, we have to take a look at the Pick'ems scoreboard. I think we're all feeling pretty good about this scoreboard, aren't we?
Feeling great.
I mean, I don't think any score is really that surprising. I think I'm tied here, right, with Hunter.
Yes, we're tied up.
14.
I'm one behind.
Who's at number 5 there? Oh, it's Leah. It's Leah. I don't think she's been enough shows, though.
Yeah,
Same
she's
thing
only
as
had,
last
like,
semester, you know, she's missing too many shows.
It's not fair.
But between us, this is pretty good. 13
pretty
and
good.
14. We're making some good picks, guys.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Let's go to the first game of Pick'ems. We got Wyoming versus San Jose State. We just talked about it. Who do you guys got?
Yeah, I'm going to take San Jose in this one. They've beaten Wyoming twice this year. We're on the road and I'm at home. I think they're 1.5-point favorites tomorrow. Yeah, I like San Jose in this one.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. I think Wyoming's got them. I mean, it's just so hard to beat a team 3 times.
It is.
No matter who it is, it's so hard to beat a team 3 times. And I think they're evenly matched, so why couldn't it happen?
I think they are decently evenly matched. They're both not great teams, in my opinion. I don't think either of them are winning a game after this game.
No, they're not beating the next game.
I'm going to go San Jose just, again, because they have beaten them twice. I know it's the same argument you're kind of using, not beating them 3 times, but this Wyoming team doesn't seem to adjust well. And that's what I don't think they do in this third game. I mean, I like their coach, but he hasn't proved anything to me this year, so I'm gonna go San Jose State. But again, I just don't think these are 2 great teams that you really need to worry about.
No, these are just 2 bottom teams.
All right, let's go to the next one. We got Fresno versus Nevada. The winner plays CSU.
Yep.
Who do we like?
I mean,
here to
it's
play
easily
CSU?
Nevada in this one. I mean, Air Force is the worst team in the conference. So, I mean, I don't...
Wait. This is Nevada, Fresno.
Oh, Fresno. Okay, second worst team in the conference here.
Right,
Sorry.
you're still,
Okay.
you're still
So, I think you got Nevada easily in this one. I think they're like 12.5 tomorrow, so easy win.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're all going with that.
Yeah.
Correct. Slam dunk. Fresno's just...
I couldn't choose them.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Again, it's the same thing. I don't think Nevada's that great. I just think they're better than
Just way
the
better.
worst team here.
yeah.
I don't know. I think this next one is a little surprising with my pick. We got Air Force versus UNLV. I think both of you are going UNLV, given that Air Force is the worst team in the conference.
Yes.
Well, it's basically a home game for UNLV.
It is.
Yeah. And Air Force is the worst team in the conference.
It is.
So I just don't see. I don't see a path here.
I will tell you, going to Vegas 2 years ago to see this conference tournament, UNLV does not care about their team, and they will not show up to this game. So it doesn't really matter that it's a home court advantage. This is a neutral court because UNLV just has no fans. Yeah. I'm going to go Air Force just for the heck of it. I think they have a random game like this every once in a while. They go on a 5-game lose streak and they beat a team, and you're like, how did they get that win? I think this is one of those random wins they just take and they lose in the next game probably by 20 or 30, but I think they take this random.
Yeah, I'll go with UNLV, but I do think it'll be a close game tomorrow. Definitely a close game.
I like it. Now let's go to the winner of all these games at the end of it all, the men's tournament winner.
Yes.
Who do you guys got?
It's tough.
It's tough. It is tough for sure.
I wanted to take CSU, so I said, why not? I'm going to do it. I said earlier I liked the path, and I said, I think they can get it done. This is the year.
I like it. I'm obviously cheering for CSU. But
I will take CSU in this one, but do not be surprised if they lose in Nevada in the first round.
Oh my gosh.
But I think if they can get past Nevada, get back to Utah State, who they just beat by 30, I think, but that first game is going to tell a lot how they're going to come out in Vegas. Are they going to come out playing down to their competition, or are they going to come out and destroy Nevada like they should?
You guys both think they can beat New Mexico, is what you're telling me.
On a neutral court? Yes.
On a neutral court. And I can see Boise or San Diego State, beating New Mexico. They've done it both this year.
Did you see New Mexico come to Moby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 different teams than they were then.
But you said neutral court's the reason here. If they can't win on home court, why would they win on... Sorry, my pick is the New Mexico Lobos. I think they're the best team in this conference. I know it hurts to say. Obviously, I'm cheering for the Rams. Yeah. If the Rams win it all, I'm going to be a very happy person. Yes. But I think if you're looking at the stats, it has to be New Mexico. They got the player of the year. They got the coach of the year. Both pretty arguably, with those. I think you could argue those for Medved and Nick Clifford, but Dent and Patino, they're legit, and they got a good team.
Dent deserved it. Yeah. It was good to see him win that.
I do think Medved, though. I don't know.
Medved.
I don't know how Nick didn't win.
With the expectations that he put his team in, I think Medved deserved it, but that's not what we're here to debate. I'm going to New Mexico, you guys are going to CSU. Let's go to the women's tournament in a game actually that's playing right now between the teams that we've chosen.
Yeah, UNLV, I think they were down 7 when I looked last, so I'm going to pick them. They were the best team in conference, only lost 2 games this year in conference, but they seem to be struggling tonight. So
yeah, we already had a little sneak peek at the scoreboard, and San Diego State was up by I think 9 last time I checked. It was 59-50.
Yeah,
I was going San Diego State originally to win the tournament, so I'm obviously feeling good about mine, but After seeing the score, I don't really know what defense you have.
It's tough. I mean, yeah,
the game is already
Let's not
happening.
forget he picked CSU before they got eliminated last night.
The score says it
Right.
all. I mean, San Diego State's taking care of business.
Yeah.
and,
Seems like they're down 10 now, so
Yeah,
that's great.
66. Yeah, it's
66,
not looking good for
66.
UNLV. I mean, they had a good
No.
year, but I think it's
Did
over.
they get
I
a
think.
big bid, do you think?
But now
or no?
San Diego State still has to win. They still have to
Yeah.
win this tournament for my pick to come true. They still have to beat, I think it was Wyoming.
And
or
Fresno.
Fresno, yeah.
Fresno's hot.
dangerous.
Fresno's
Yeah.
dangerous. They beat CSU,
Yeah.
so we'll see. All right, let's get away from the Mountain West. We're going SEC, the men's tournament. Who do you guys got in this one? I know we got kind of controversial here. We'll go to Hunter first.
Yeah, I'm going to take the chalk here. I'm going to go with Auburn. You lost
Okay.
2 games in a row. I think this is a get-right spot for them. They need to win, get through this tournament. I think they got that double bye, so I think they only have to win 3 games. I think their first game is Ole Miss, so I could see them getting through easily here, beating them, and then A&M, and then the final. Florida's not getting there.
Can you
so.
just repeat the 2 wins that they had? Can you just tell me the teams? I want to know the teams that they just beat.
Who Florida just beat?
Or sorry, that Auburn just lost to.
They lost to Bama, and they lost to A&M.
So that's where I'm going to go with my pick. Sorry, Florida's last game they beat Ole Miss by 20 points. But the 2 games before that, they beat A&M and Alabama. So I'm feeling great about this. If that's your argument,
That's fair.
to use for your team, I'm feeling great about my Florida argument. I don't know. What do you think?
We
here?
just saw Bama beat the best. We just saw
We
Bama
did.
beat Auburn a couple days ago. They looked really good in Auburn. I mean, I'm just waiting for. They score 90 points a game, and if they have a stretch where they're on shooting, if
Yeah.
they could shoot 40% from 3 games in a row, I mean, they are by far the most dangerous team.
They're definitely the most dangerous offensive team, but that's
Yeah.
where I go with the Gators. Is I think they're the best defensive team, and honestly, it was the game against Alabama that I was like, wow, this Florida team is playing some really lockdown defense. And honestly, Mark Sears had 30. They're Alabama's best player, still at 30, and they still lost the game. There's guys like Condon on this Florida team. There's guys like Clayton, both putting up really good numbers. I think Condon had 28 in that game. I just like how Florida matches up with both the teams you guys are talking about, so that's why I'm going to go with them.
That's fair.
I don't know. All right, let's go to the Big Ten for the men. Again, I think we have some controversy here. I think we have 3 different picks. Yeah, we'll go to you first.
I think this is easy for me, honestly. Maryland was the easiest pick I've
cannot
had.
believe you can say that.
I've been watching them over the last few weeks, and I think they're the best team. I mean, they lost on the buzzer beater to Michigan State, who's running through everybody right now. But
That's true.
I think outside of that, they've looked great. They've got the Crab 5, the starting 5. That's been incredible. I don't know. They're pretty dominant. I got to take them.
I'm going to go with Illinois in this one. I think they're going to get Maryland if they beat, I believe it's going to be Ohio State. So they would get Maryland early, and I think playing that game in advance is actually a good thing. They're going to come out hot. They just beat Michigan by 20. I mean, they're getting hot at the right time. They're finally healthy. I think Illinois, they're defending champions. I mean, people don't talk about that, so I think they're going to defend that title.
Been waiting for them to get healthy.
For me, the defending champs with such a different team, I don't think you can really use that argument. I don't know. I'm going Wisconsin. I'm looking at the Big Ten this year. I think Michigan State is probably the best team. They've looked the best in the games that I've watched them.
Yeah.
But I think Wisconsin in this tournament setting can win the most amount of games just because of their offense. They're putting up 100%. The most amount of 80-point games they've ever had. I think the most amount of 100 points in a game they've ever had in a season. Just Wisconsin's offense is too much. The only problem is that they're not clicking. If they're not hitting shots, then they can't do anything. But when they are, and this is a tournament, I feel like you got that playoff kind of energy. You have to make it. I think Wisconsin's got the offense to hang with anyone in the Big Ten.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think Michigan State's the best team, though.
Michigan State is the
That's
best
where
team,
I was between those two for
But when
so
you're getting
long.
Oregon or Indiana in the first round, that's a little tough, I feel like. So I could see them dropping that game, but I can also see them going all the way.
I can also see these neutral sites turning into not neutral sites because they're going to be somewhere in the Midwest, and you're just going to have a state pack out for their team, and this other state is going to be too far away. You're thinking about teams like in Oregon; they're so far away from these other sites. I can see so much happening with this neutral site and with fans being there.
And the Michigan fans travel so well. Illinois fans travel so well.
Even teams like Ohio State that aren't even really good, they travel well just to see their team play.
Exactly.
All right, these are some good predictions, guys. I like them.
Maryland.
Let's end it out.
That's all we've got for you tonight, Rams. Have a great break and enjoy this spree of college basketball. We'll see you when we get back.